Unity. In terms of popularity, I believe this is the largest in the market. You must know many mobile games that when you open, this logo appears. It is an engine used by many companies, and that's why there are plenty of Unity games out there. The games in it are made using the C# programming language, a language created by Microsoft. It's quite popular, meaning there are many tutorials and manuals explaining how to use it on the internet. Unity can make both 2D and 3D games of both types. It has very good games. Unity can export games to all platforms. It has a free license while your game sells less than $200,000 a year. After that you have to pay a fee. But I think if you're making more than $200,000 a year, you can afford the 2% to Unity. The most well-known games made in Unity are Cuphead, Hollow Knight, and Escape from Tarkov. Construct is a basic engine for those who are starting out, so it serves a lot of people. You can create games just by using the events it has, and it also has a very interactive interface where you can pull and drag things without having to program anything. The biggest problem with Construct is the fee you have to pay to use it. A well-known game made in Construct is Gdeveloper. GameMaker Studio 2 is an engine focused entirely on 2D games, with virtually zero capability to create 3D games. It is extremely lightweight, meaning it runs on any computer. For game creation or export, it is free, but if you want to publish your games commercially, you will have to pay a fee of $99 for a license, which is permanent, meaning you only need to pay this license fee once and no further fees will be charged for your game sales. GameMaker uses GML, which is a programming language created for GameMaker itself and is quite easy to learn. It can export to all platforms, although you will have to pay a higher fee to export to consoles. Among the games created in GameMaker are Undertale and Hotline Miami. Unreal Engine, developed by Epic Games, is considered the best engine in the market and is the most used by AAA companies. It uses C++, which is the most commonly used programming language in game production. It can create both 2D and 3D games, but its quality for 2D games is poor, making it considered a bad engine for 2D games. Unreal is free, but its license states that if you have a profit greater than $1,000 in the last quarter, you will have to pay a 5% fee on your profits to them. Unreal has the ability to create games with very beautiful and realistic graphics, having the best lighting in the market, so a very good computer is necessary to use it. Unreal also has a great affinity with games and virtual reality, being the most used engine to create these types of games. Some of the games created in Unreal are Mortal Kombat 11, Fortnite, and Life is Strange. Clickteam Fusion is a software with a simple interface designed for developing 2D games. It is easy to program as it has a simplified scripting language. It was created with the intention of making game development quick, and it is even possible to create games without typing any lines of code. One game created in this software is Five Nights at Freddy's, which is basically the only well-known game made with this software.
Scratch is an engine widely used by beginners and children who want to study game development. It does not use code, but rather a visual language where you drag balloons and fit them together. It is used for websites and mobile applications, making it a lightweight engine with no programming required. It is completely free. The games created with it are limited, but are good for those who are starting out and have no programming logic. The Cry engine has the ability to create games with great graphics, which is why it is heavy. It uses the C++ language, which is the most used language in game development. It was created in 2002 but has been updated over the years, and nowadays it has a free version for indie developers. It is very good for creating FPS games and open-world games. Some games created with it are Crysis and Far Cry.
Godot is an open-source engine, meaning it doesn't have any company that owns it. Its updates and features are created by the community itself, which means it doesn't have a license, so you won't have to pay anything to anyone. It can create games in 2D and 3D, although its 3D capabilities are still behind the other engines we've mentioned so far. It is programmed in GDScript, a programming language created by Godot itself, but it can be changed to be programmed in C# or C++. It doesn't have many games created with it yet, but one of them is Sonic Colors. Gdeveloper is an open-source engine, and it's also a drag-and-drop system, making it very easy to create games. It has an interactive interface, so you don't need to type code to create your game. It can create both 2D and 3D games, and while it's not as well known as other engines, it has great accessibility. Some games created with it are Angry Chicken and the Next Penelope.
Monogame, in fact, is not an engine but an open-source framework, but we'll include it in this video for those who don't know. You'll need to use another tool to create games with it, and the most recommended one is Visual Studio. It also uses open-source code, meaning you won't have to pay any fees to use it. The programming language used is C#. It can create both 2D and 3D games, but its main functionality is 2D. Many of the games made with it are for mobile devices, offering a wide variety of mobile games. Its main games are Celeste and Stardew Valley.
RPG Maker is one of the oldest game engines out there. There are over 30 versions of it, and as the name suggests, it's made for creating RPG games. It can also make 2D RPG games and is easy to use, with simple assets, meaning you won't need to program where everything goes. You just drag and drop. It's entirely focused on 2D games. It has various licenses and its price varies a lot. Almost all its versions are on Steam and sometimes they're free. Some popular games created in RPG Maker include Omori, To the Moon, and Nikki. Cocos. This engine has several versions, including Cocos 2 and Cocos Creator. It also has open source code, meaning you don't have to pay to use it. Since Cocos has multiple versions, there are various programming languages you can use, such as C#, C++, or JavaScript. It also makes 2D and 3D games. Its most well-known games are Geometric Dash and Hill Climb Racing. Hello, we've come to the end of this video. We didn't show all the engines, but we showed the most well-known ones. I hope it clarified some of your doubts. Until the next video.